Are you ready?
Simon said, adjusting his trousers for the third time, his large paunch acting like a waterbed. I just smiled and looked in the mirror for the fourth time, piling up my white hair into a clasp. Now I'm ready. We both felt as heady as we did 50 years ago, and what a day that was. We almost didn't get married because Simon and his best man were held up behind a tractor, which was rather embarrassing because they were in a sports car. Simon said to his best man,
"Anytime you want to shift into fifth gear, then please do. I'm getting married in 15 minutes.
They tried to park in town and got held up again by a man at the parking ticket office, pedantically asking for directions to Rodmell. Meanwhile, I paced the registry office waiting room floor. The registrar whispered to a nervous bride that she could only wait another 5 minutes, as she was fully booked, and my crazy parents still managed to get into an argument, even on my wedding day. When Simon finally walked in, I had never been so pleased to see him. During the ceremony, he muddled his words, repeating back the whole declaration every time he was asked to repeat a small section. I cried, which made me look hideous in the wedding photos. We didn't have a reception, but instead went straight to the local swimming pool and played around at the deep end, gazing at the unfamiliar rings on our fingers. It's hard to believe it was 50 years ago today. We walked into town, 2 entities fused into one. A murder in the family does that to you. So does having 4 children. In 50 years, nothing much had changed at Lannard's jeweler's shop, apart from the prices. Plucking up the courage to go in was no different than saying, "I do," all those years ago. Opening the door to the tiny shop, the bells jangled the wedding march, or so I fancied, announcing our presence. 2 tall young assistants flapped around the display units like birds in too small a cage. A young couple browsed wedding rings exuding pheromones, obviously just starting their journey. An older member of staff approached us.
"Can I help you with something?"
She smiled.
Yes, we were wondering, do you buy gold?
"I think we do. Just let me check. 2 seconds."
She disappeared. The 2 seconds became 5 minutes. I feigned an interest in some earrings to pass the time.
"Sorry about the wait. Yes, we do buy gold."
In that case, we'd like to sell our wedding rings.
We took off our rings and placed them on the counter. We knew this would make the bigger impact. They looked so small and insignificant on the expansive counter. I felt a slight pang, like we were selling our children. The assistant looked at us with a shocked expression, looked down at the rings, looked back at us.
"Are you sure?"
She picked up my husband's ring and stared closely at the hallmark.
Yes, we don't need them anymore.
I said, enjoying the moment. We felt the young assistant's eyes. We both stifled a laugh. A cold air came over her.
"I'll just go and get you a quote."
She was no longer smiling. I turned around and caught the eye of the young couple browsing before they quickly turned away.
"I can only give you £50 for the 2.
We looked at each other.
That's just fine.
I said, beaming. The till was opened and a receipt meticulously filled out. It felt like drug money. One of the young assistants walked by and caught my eye, smiling as if she was in on the joke. Giggling, we headed to Antonio's, clutching the £50 for our golden wedding anniversary festino as if we were newlyweds, fingering the ingrained, deep lines left on our fingers. Our real wedding rings, we thought. Antonio had reserved the best table with much gusto, and we enjoyed the fuss he made of us. Suddenly, the kitchen doors flew open, and Antonio romantically sang, while we ate soft brown shrimp on silky white polenta, washed down with a lively Prosecco. Clapping him politely, I whispered to my husband at how I would have preferred the song, and he said it in unison with me. Still crazy after all these years.